There's some rumors circulating for AJ Lee, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's happening with Chris Jericho, Carmelo Hayes, and more. Starting things off with AJ Lee. AJ made her big return to WWE after a full decade away last September, and it was one of the biggest moments of the year. A lot of people were doubtful that AJ would ever return to the ring, so that moment was very shocking and memorable. But since returning back in September, AJ has only been seen twice in the ring. One time for her tag team match with CM Punk against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and the other match for the women's War Games match. She made a few Raw and Smackdown appearances on top of that, but when it comes to in-ring action, it's only been those 2 matches up until this point so far. A noticeable thing about those 2 matches were that they were both team-based matches. AJ still hasn't competed in a singles match since her first run with WWE from well over a decade ago, which is a pretty crazy stat to look at. She might have competed in those 2 matches, but we're technically still waiting for her return to singles action. So what's going on with AJ's schedule, and could that singles match be coming up soon? Well, reports are saying that AJ Lee's appearances in matches will continue to be a rare thing going forward. She's obviously not a full-timer, she's not even a part-timer, she's going to be more of a special attraction. She'll continue to be used in the same fashion that we saw her in her first 2 matches since returning so far. She'll pop up a few weeks before a big event, set up a quick story, have a match, and then disappear again for a bit until her next program. So it is a bit unfortunate that we won't be seeing AJ Lee on a consistent basis, but honestly, no one can complain. At least we're still seeing her back in the ring in any capacity right now. So even if it is a handful of matches this year, still cool to see her active, back in the ring again after all these years later after her initial retirement. So how about AJ's next appearance and next match? Well, there's not anything really solid out there to go by at the moment, but with WrestleMania season technically being a few weeks away, you can say that it's a pretty good time for her to make a return. You got the Royal Rumble match that's quickly appearing, and that's another good spot for an appearance from AJ Lee. Back in AJ's day, the women never got a Royal Rumble match, so if she takes part in the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match, it'll be a brand new experience for her that she's never been a part of before. And speaking of big firsts for AJ, that brings us to WrestleMania itself. AJ competed at 2 WrestleManias during her first run with WWE. The first match was a multi-women invitational match at WrestleMania 30 that saw her successfully defend the Divas title. The second match was the following year at WrestleMania 31, where she teamed up with Paige to take down the Bella Twins. So despite her competing at 2 WrestleManias during her first run with the company, AJ Lee has never competed in a singles match at WrestleMania. That's something that she still hasn't done in her iconic career, and 2026 could be the year that she finally gets to do that as well. As far as who that WrestleMania 42 opponent could be for AJ, nothing's confirmed at the moment, but a lot of fans feel like Becky Lynch being AJ's opponent makes a lot of sense. With AJ's very limited schedule, she hasn't really been able to really ignite any feuds or create any true rivals, but the one storyline that AJ does have in place is with Becky Lynch. It was Becky Lynch who verbally and physically attacked CM Punk and caused AJ to come out of retirement to give her a receipt for that. It was Becky who tapped out to AJ in September, and then again at War Games as well. Not to mention that AJ also screwed Becky out of the Women's Intercontinental title back at the MSG edition of Raw. So considering Becky was there for those 2 AJ Lee matches so far, and even included that big Intercontinental Championship moment, it sure does seem safe to say that the issues between Becky and AJ are not finished at all. There's still a lot of story left to tell there between AJ and Becky. And when you also consider the fact that despite Becky tapping out to AJ Lee twice, they still haven't had a singles match against each other, that's what'll make it seem like we still have to see AJ and Becky square off one-on-one. So when you look at all the time that they put into creating issues between AJ and Becky, and how incomplete it still feels, that's what's making fans look at WrestleMania 42 as the perfect spot. Talk about a big singles return for AJ Lee. If her first singles match back is on the WrestleMania stage itself, that's absolutely a massive deal, and a lot of fans would be hyped for that match. So that appears to be the latest for AJ Lee at the current moment. We won't see that much of her throughout the year, but when we do see her, it looks like we can surely expect big programs and big matches to go down. So everyone's looking forward to those appearances from AJ Lee. we're seeing a lot of main roster call-ups taking place at the moment, and it seems like another one is being teased, and that's Kalani Jordan. This all started with the recent United States Open Challenge match between Carmelo Hayes and Johnny Gargano. Carmelo Hayes was able to successfully defend his title, but Johnny Gargano did have his wife Candice LeRae at ringside, and she's a threat to get involved and help Johnny Gargano cheat at any time. So on social media, Carmelo Hayes says he's willing to face Johnny again as long as Candice stays in the back, and if not, he can make a call to balance things out. Carmelo Hayes did not mention any names in his post, but it's clear that he's referring to his own life partner, Kalani Jordan. Carmelo and Kalani are a real-life power couple in WWE, so if Candice is going to stick around, Carmelo said that Kalani Jordan is just one call away, and then all this will be fair and balanced as a 2-on-2 situation. What Carmelo said technically isn't out of the realm of possibility because we're seeing a lot of call-ups take place right now, so Kalani Jordan joining him is possible, but we'll have to see if that's the direction they go in. Some new reports have been coming out regarding how Chris Jericho's new presentation will be handled for his upcoming run with WWE. According to reports, Chris Jericho will allegedly be on a limited schedule with WWE for this return. Something they mentioned was how he'll be used as a special attraction, similar to the likes of Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. He'll be someone that's not there every week, but will be used in major ways when he is around. WWE themselves have been sprinkling teases about Chris Jericho's return to the company. During Adam Pearce's usual social media video running down the card for Raw this week, Adam Pearce specifically used the phrase, "break down the walls," which of course is the title of Chris Jericho's WWE theme song, as well as his signature move, the Walls of Jericho. It was subtle, but not so subtle teaser that they threw in there, and it was something that everyone caught on to really fast. Chris Jericho's last appearance in WWE prior to 2026 was way back at the Greatest Royal Rumble in 2018. And 1 year after that, in 2019, Chris Jericho was one of the first few stars to sign with AEW, and he hasn't been back in WWE ever since. So it's a return that's been 8 years in the making, and it's one that a lot of fans seem genuinely excited for. So hopefully it delivers big time. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.